Welcome to a brand new episode of the Real Life Podcast, a member of the Nation Network of Podcasts and delivered by DoorDash.
Welcome to Real Life, everyone.
What is going on right now?
I think that I'm in love with Matthew Tkachuk.
Are you guys all drunk?
Welcome into episode 373 of the Real Life Podcast. Tyler, Jay, Bag Milk, Wanye, Chalmers. 3 of us are in studio, 2 of us on a nice Zoom call. We're brought to you by the HGA Group, as always. Jay is eating an entire chicken salad.
Yep.
Trying to mix one in here quickly out.
Operation Keep It Tight, always in effect.
Mm-hmm. Playoff runs coming.
Got to treat the temple.
Yeah, you got to
get my greens in me before it's nothing but pizza and beer for 3 months.
That's what I was saying too. Like, I know this Friday at our staff party, we're going to have a good time. But aside from that day, I am not drinking until the playoffs start. Which is only a week. I recognize that.
That's like 3 days.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Rogers Place in 2.5 years. I'm so excited. So excited.
You're excited for one of those beers?
Not just the beers. I'm excited to go to a game. I'm excited to hang out. I'm excited to go out and get a little silly post game. It's going to be fun.
I think we're going to have
Let's talk this through, Bag Milk. We don't want to focus on the thing that society is currently going through.
No,
because I feel like enough people are talking about the thing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But you haven't been to a game at Rogers Place in 2.5 years because of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to go. So walk me through this because I know you're a smart guy.
Yeah.
I think it's bad. I want to understand.
We just kind of threw it out to the Nation staff. If you want to go to the game against Vancouver on Saturday or Friday, I should say, we got some tickets. We can get some tickets and we can go together as a group. We didn't get to do our holiday party over Christmas because of the thing. So I'm just,
I got the thing.
Yeah. Jay got the thing. So I'm just excited to go.
Well, had you not, it's going around. Somebody was going to get the thing. That's what the thing is.
Yeah. And then just, we went to Calgary a few weeks ago and I got to go to my first NHL game since we were down in Vegas pre-thing. And it was just a great time. And I'm excited to hang out with Nation staff and go to a game at Rogers Place and then end up at the Pint and get a little silly and, it'll be fun.
Do we think that going to a game presents any less or more danger than in the last 2.5 years now? Are we redrawing the lines of where danger has to be? Is it's time to get on with the show? Both of which are totally viable.
The lines have been redrawn, my boys.
Oh, Chalmers.
Well, it's just also, it's kind of like, I want like sitting in your house and doing nothing.
You didn't start the sentence off with, I haven't been to a game in 2.5 years at Rogers Place. Your lines were drawn briefly. I know where you stand. I'm asking Bagno.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's, I don't want to just sit in my house anymore. I want to go and do stuff. And I had an amazing time in Calgary and I want to have an amazing time in Edmonton. Kind of way she goes.
Totally valid.
Chalmers, thoughts?
Playoff mode.
And words, playoff mode. I got to go. Like, I got to cheer on the boys. I feel like they need me.
Yeah.
In my mind, even though I may be overestimating the danger in my own head, I've been having serious conversations with myself, both in the shower and on the toilet for about 4 days now. And I'm like, Wanye, who the hell are you? You're the guy who sold his television to go to a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who the hell are you? You're the guy who didn't say his real name on his hockey blog because you were scared they wouldn't let you go to Oilers games if they found out who you were. Who the hell are you? You're the guy that in 2017, I ran breathlessly into Jay's office and said, I got a brand new credit card. Let's go to all the away games on the road. And we did. And it took me until like 2019 to pay them shits off.
Yeah.
Even if it is going to kill me, I think I'd rather die than not go to Oilers playoff games. Because the crazy thing about 2017 is if you said to me, you would not be able to physically attend a game for 5 years in the playoffs. That is some dystopian shit.
And that's just it too. Like we had the bubble playoffs, which count them or not. Right.
Yeah.
And then they had last year, no fans in the building.
They count, but they don't count. The play-ins that count, but don't count.
Exactly. And then last year against Winnipeg, no fans in the building. Mm-hmm. It's just this city, when the playoffs are on, is an amazing place to be. Being at Rogers Place when the Oilers are in the Stanley
Cup. This is never
up
for debate, but from like a public health perspective, it is an extremely risky activity to do. Yeah. Unless you think Bill Gates invented this to sell microphones. But
you may have.
It does pose a risk going into a building with 16,000 screaming rabid fans.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But it's a risk you're willing to take.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had
not for none of this preseason bullshit or for fucking Taylor Hall getting his 23rd goal of the season, but maybe for playoffs. Yes.
And the city is electric and we haven't had it clipped, for 2 years.
I'll be like, well, I went out the way I wanted to go, bitch. Playoffs.
The city is starting to feel electric, though. I think
starting to see flags popping up.
Yeah.
I just, there's no way I could go through a playoff run where I'm allowed to go to Rogers Place and not go.
It's the best time of year, man. The weather's turning. Car flags are coming out. It's playoffs. It's him trying to eat a salad to keep it tight. It's like, when in the year is the proper time to try to keep it tight? Because there's always something.
There's always something going on.
Christmas? No, don't. Try to do it over, and then spring, getting ready, and then you got yourself some Easter, and Easter goes and messes it all up.
Oh man, I have eaten a million mini eggs. I'm embarrassed.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So I just come to the understanding that I'm always going to never be in shape, and will enjoy the things that come every month that ruin it. Like playoffs. We're going to be drinking.
Playoffs don't come every month. This is the thing, right?
No, but that's
but happen every day.
There's something different is what I'm saying. And right now it's playoffs.
Nothing is good as playoffs.
No. So I'm going to eat a lot of
playoff Chalmers, for fuck's sake. I mean, don't tell me your F1 races or whatever you're into these days are better than Oilers playoffs. Nothing.
It was very exciting.
I don't think I even alluded to anything being better than Oilers playoffs. The only Masters, spring, and then Oilers playoffs. It's the best.
Yeah, Masters doesn't get me off like wanting to like get absolutely drunk and crush pizza till 3 a.m. Like that's a different, like maybe some daytime beers, but like
you get up in the morning, like you have something to do with it. Like you got to be ready. You got to get ready for playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you guys are feeling the same way I am, but with Oilers playoffs and the fact that I didn't do this last year when playoffs were on. I watched every single game. I watched all 4 of the Oilers games.
That'd be
in my basement with my family, where 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it was get together.
Yeah,
Every single
night. Awesome.
And,
it was the best.
And I feel this pent up energy inside of me. That if I'm not going to the game, I'm going to be calling people at like noon. We're going to be group text messaging. What are we doing?
I want to see Cowboy Chris.
Cowboy Chris is coming back. He promised me.
Oh, he's back. I've already got, buddy. If you saw my rip outfit, that's all new gear. And Cowboy Chris is a little yellow. So I'm going to grow out the facial hair a little bit more. So I look a little more rustic,
That's what I'm talking about.
He'll be there.
People were so pent up after the 1918 pandemic, Chalmers, they invented jazz and heroin.
What's going to come out of this one?
Yeah.
Within like the tail end of the 1918 pandemic, everybody had gotten into both. Yes.
I feel like that's made up.
It is not. Look it up. Jazz didn't start until the early 20s and heroin wasn't popularized.
Look it up is my favorite.
Google them shits. Well,
look it up.
You can Google when was jazz created. That's Googleable.
I did.
What do you got?
1872 by Chubby Checker.
1892 by Buddy Bolden is when some say
close.
Buddy Bolden in 1892. When was it?
That's a jazz name. That's a big jazz name.
Yeah. That's when this one article says it originated. But there is something called the Jazz Age one. Yeah. So I think that's what.
Like technically, yeah. When was the Jazz Age? There we go.
When was the Jazz Age? 1929 is when it would have ended. So yeah, that's coming.
Chalmers, the first rap 20s. In a commercial song was Debbie Harry in Heart of Glass. Yeah, I wouldn't consider her a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Chalmers, I'd love to go to a playoff game with you, be it at a bar or at the game itself.
I as well would love to do it with you, Bag Milk. We'll do it as many times as we can.
Well, I think the real question is, Wanye, are you going to go to a playoff game?
I'm very highly going to go to playoff games.
So is that a yes?
That sounds we're all right.
Yeah. Well, we have the technology to make it happen.
We don't get to hang, and I get it. I'm sorry, buddy, but you got to understand.
What about road playoff games, Wanye?
I have to sort my passport out.
Oh.
Well, that sounds like a pretty big hurdle.
Well, I got to renew it.
Okay.
Renew.
I thought there was like, I thought it had been like
pay the $100 and you can get it in 24 hours.
Yeah, that's casual.
Talking.
Yeah. Do you guys watch the news or read newspapers? Getting your passport right now ain't exactly the easiest thing in the world.
Why? Supply chain?
What happened?
No, just because there's so many people getting back to traveling and so many people let their passports go like delinquent or expire that there's a mad rush at the passport office to get them in. I guess the lines are like 2 times as long, but JR's right. You can pay an exorbitant amount of money.
Connor can block a shot without flinching, for crying out loud, Wanya, you bitch.
You can do it.
I believe.
Canada Place opens at 8:30 a.m. Get in line. Just pay the express
Is what
fee.
you're saying, Jay, that if I'm passport ready, you would go to road playoff games?
Well, we're gonna tease. I think
New baby and everything.
There might be a circumstance that a certain travel partner is working on a way to create the travel package needed to go watch the playoffs, and we're gonna help promote that. But TBD, it's all in flux because you don't know where it's going to be, even though we know it's LA. And we don't know when the games are. But stay tuned, everyone.
It's LA.
It's very good. There's
LA needs 1 point in their final 2 games.
There is a chance that we're going to be partnering with a company that's putting on a trip that we're going to join, promote. And
there's a lot of business to conduct in LA. There's a lot of convincing reasons, but there's a very new baby at the Downton household.
Oh no! I've been given the green light.
Full green light privileges.
Full green light. I've been a very good baby daddy. Earning my brownie points.
Surveyor Brett, please clip. I've been a very good baby daddy. Thank you.
And
11:05 mark.
And understands how important this is. And we have a very good support network.
Straight shot.
4 hours.
4 hours?
No, it's
Jinx.
3.
You owe me a kiss.
3 hours.
That's what I said. 3.
3. It goes 3.5, depending which direction you're going. So there's some moving parts to it because trying to bring costs low. But there's some interesting developments on it. So if this package can come together, we find out here soon. We'll help our partner will launch it, and we'll help them promote it, and we'll try to fill this thing. And we'll kind of come up with our mission down there will just to be the content kings and try to.
I'll be like the Green Man suit. I'll be the fucking hazmat suit guy. What up? Yeah. I'm kidding. Question mark.
Bag Milk International is ready to go. I checked my passport. I did it myself a smart thing, and I got a 10-year one a few years ago. I'm ready.
Me too. Smart.
I did that in 2013.
Wow.
Oh, you're right at the end.
Wow.
I know. And I was like, wow, will I be alive when this thing expires?
Well, I wonder if there'll be a global pandemic by the time this thing expires. Huh?
What's that?
But you said that.
Did you fill all the pages?
Oh yeah, she's got a lot on there.
Close. Yeah,
she's got a lot of A lot of
they
trouble.
can give the old one back, and I'm like pissed. I'm like, I want to keep my old.
Oh, I've got my old one. They just
cut the corner.
Cut the corner off. I cut my old one.
They don't do that anymore.
Oh, I did in 2013 or whatever. I did.
Yeah. Oh, those are the good old days.
That's where I got all my Southeast Asia visas in it. Those are cool.
Yeah. I kept that one for sure because
was it Laos or Cambodia? Which one added a stamp the size of a page? It looked like so official.
There's a couple. Cambodia had a visa like that.
Lao does too. Yeah, they both did. And then also Vietnam does.
Did you go Bag Milk? Sorry, Jake.
No, that's it.
Oh, did you go to the Cambodia-Lao border, Bag Milk, where you go across by boat?
Yep.
They just take your passport.
Yeah, it's wild. I went into
the other side.
I went into a visa run in Burma as well, or Myanmar now, where you cross the border and this guy just takes your passport and he's like, "I'll be back in an hour," and you're like, "Okay," and you just kind of sit in this little coffee shop for an hour, trusting that random gentleman will come back with it.
Yeah, how many duplicates do you think that they can sell in the black market? Do you think they can make the sell?
There's like 20 bag milks out around.
Yeah. It's very valuable.
Yeah.
So playoff mode.
Should we talk about the last couple games? Should we talk some hockey here, boys?
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about them clinching Friday night in the most perfect way imaginable. It's a Friday night. Everyone's feeling good. The city is abuzz already because the weather's turning. There's people out and about. I was downtown. The lines for the bars were long. And then to clinch against the best team in the conference in the fashion in which you beat them was just the cherry on top of the Clinchmas Sunday.
Clinchmas Friday.
How about Connor McDavid playing chess, not checkers, taking out the backup goalie first shift, just in case.
Yeah, Pavel Francouz takes one on the bench.
Oh, we almost had an e-bug.
My God.
Well, and almost, you know what? We probably played well enough to have the e-bug come and join. Yeah. That was a good game. That was
Connor McDavid's highest output season of his entire career. After this, is this top Connor?
Yeah, I think, did he do that on Friday? Did he pull that off?
He set a career high. Wanya, you're asking if he'll ever beat
going
this?
forward.
Yes.
Never beat this year.
I think he will.
What we're witnessing is this Connor's best year ever.
He's got 130 plus in him for sure.
Yeah, I think he's still got 2 years better than this.
And granted, we did not like our lives during the roller coaster dip.
No, you remove that
of December. So but also it might be that might have been needed to get to where we are today.
Maybe. Sure.
So depending on what you look at it. But so you remove that and he just performs half-assed during that. He's probably 130 already.
Connor McDavid currently, as we're recording this on Monday, is 3 points up on Jonathan Huberdeau with a game in hand. Oh, no, are the same games because Connor missed one, I think.
Same games.
Yeah, okay.
3 15-game point streaks this season. Like, that's just preposterous.
If Connor putting up 8 points in his last 3 games isn't his version of telling Huberdeau to piss off, then I don't know what is.
Since the coaching...
Johnny Gugu in the mix.
Johnny Gugu might win the Hart, though. I'm betting on it.
Since
Buddy,
the
it's
coaching
impressive.
change,
As much as I hate Calgary, that's what he's doing right now.
His case is very solid. As long as it's not Austin Matthews. Fade Matthews.
This I can cheer for my opponent's best player, NFL fan bullshit where you respect the game, not the team. You can't respect Calgary's best player. Come on.
in the intro to this very episode, you talk about liking Matthew Tkachuk.
That was taken out of context.
Was it?
I meant romantically.
I don't think so.
In his hockey games and Chef. I'm talking in a romantic.
Hey, I want you four to break down something that JR told me, or you three to break out something that JR told me. I want you to explain this betting for the Hart that you tried to explain to me the other day, where Matthews is such a runaway favorite that you.
The bet should be called fading stupid Leafs fans. That's what it should be called. Because it's because of these Leafs fans. They have flooded the Hart market. So they've all bet on Matthews to win the Hart, which has adjusted the odds. So he is such an odds-on favorite because they have to adjust with how the money gets spent, which has opened up great odds for McDavid, Huberdeau, Jesus, Huberdeau.
The Huber dude,
Gaudreau, and Shesterkin. So it's bet on those four horses, thinking that the Leafs fans are dumb, and fade the Leafs fans. And I feel really good about it. I've personally been pretty aggressive on this, but be advised, don't do it. Don't listen to me. But I've aggressively chased this just because I don't think Matthews is heart worthy. If you look at the case of, even like I said, you look at Gaudreau, who's like plus minus whatever you want to view that stat as, good or bad. Like the difference between him and Matthews is immense because he's leading in the top 5 scores. He's leading plus minus, and so is Huberdeau. He's beating Matthews at that. So is McDavid. Then you look at their point totals greater than Matthews. Then you look at the fact that, and then you go back to Gaudreau and you look at his 5-on-5 scoring, which is greater than the entire league by a lot. Like there's a lot of things supporting the other cast, or the other candidates than Matthews. I think it's just people just so excited, Leafs fans just so excited that Matthews has a chance that they're all betting on it because they're betting with their hearts, and I respect that because I do that every day. And
right. So
it's created an edge. I believe it's unlocked an ultimate edge.
To give you the idea, right now, the winner of the Hart Trophy, the odds are Austin Matthews is a minus 250.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So it's changing now. Now the market's reacting. So it was minus 350 when I started making my bets. But anyways, go ahead.
The next best, I'm only going to do the top 5. Yeah. The next best is Connor McDavid at a plus 300. Mm-hmm. Jonathan Huberdeau plus 900. Johnny Gaudreau plus 1,300 and Igor Shesterkin at plus 3,000.
Yeah. So depending where you like, yeah. So I was able to get McDavid at plus 400. I was able to get Huberdeau. Jesus.
Why can't you say it?
Come on, Jay.
I don't know.
Huberdeau.
Jonathan Huberdeau.
Huberdeau. Yeah, I got Huberdeau at plus 1,400. I got Gugu at plus 2,000. And I got Shesterkin at plus 2,000.
You put money on Johnny Gugu winning?
I just like a hedge fund manager. I just played. I diversified. So it's games. So if McDavid wins, I still win some money. But if the other 3 win, I win a ton of money. And a ton is like, to me, a ton of money for betting. I don't bet big, but like this is my biggest bet of the year. Now, once again, be advised, don't do it. I'm doing it. I just think it's the most hilarious opportunity because Leafs fans are just flooding the market. It's just unlocked an edge, and the books had to react to it.
You keep saying that, but do you know? Like, do you know? Do you have?
It's all. I could be. So my bias in this, and you always have to disclose your bias when you're describing your models, and this is clearly a very
like a two-eyed Michael Berry or whatever.
Intense, very intense model. My bias is I'm an anti-Leafs fan. So that's a pretty significant bias in all this. But if you really break it down, the winners, honestly, the winner should be Shesterkin. But it's tough for a goalie to win. It should be Shesterkin. That guy is insane.
But I think you could argue that every year the true most valuable player is the best goalie in the league. That's the guy who steals the most games, right?
So then they have to go above and beyond that, which I think Shesterkin has. So he deserves to be in the conversation. So I think like if you're really, I think it needs to go to him. But then obviously I'm biased and I want McDavid. But I'm just hedging just in case because Florida is a pretty powerful story. Huberdeau is basically going blow for blow with McDavid for points, and then you got Johnny Gugu has got like 87 5-on-5 points.
Yeah.
Which is pretty impressive.
Despite being terrible.
Exactly. It's like playing for the Flames, which once again, I guess you might have to respect that. I don't know. So it's an interesting thing. And I don't know how, like, the other thing I don't know enough about is I don't know how the voting works in terms of, I know it's all the professional hockey writers that do it, but is there equal representation or they like 70% of them in Ontario?
Who's in charge of the Professional Hockey Writers Association, Jay?
That'd be Frank Saravalli, but I can't talk. Like we can't have this conversation. I know, but we can't have that conversation. So that's the whole thing.
Who's in charge of that company again? You? So technically the guy who works for you is in charge of that?
Like, because I was listening to the rundown and they were just talking about it as a topic. And Frank can't say who I would bet on.
So, and that's been something Frank and I have talked about a lot with all the awards, like when we do our show together.
You know too, because you're on a show with them.
Mm-hmm. The thing we've talked about is like even Frank can't go as far as to like give out his ballot beforehand. So like today we were previewing the Selke and Frank said like, he thought this is Bergeron's to lose. And when I asked him about the rest of his ballot, he was kind of like, can't go that far, but like, here's one guy who's interesting. So like, he can't even really go out and just be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my ballot. Cause that's frowned upon.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I respect that. So I don't, as much as just like I try to get Gregor to give us Oilers nuggets. Frank is a black box with that stuff. Cause he is he is the definition of the P of the PWHA.
Professional.
Mm-hmm.
So we clinched Friday.
Yeah.
Playing what's arguably the best team in the NHL right now.
Yeah.
They are missing Rantanen and Landeskog for this game, but we're not going to sit there and overlook that, whatever. It's a good feel-good story. But then we go into Columbus. Anybody else have real letdown?
That's fine. The emotional fatigue. Like that's, I almost bet on Columbus because I was like, the Oilers are going to have a tough time winning this game because it's at 11 a.m. It's essentially like 36 hours from their clinch miss game. The emotions were high. The team put everything that they had into clinching on Friday.
Celebrated.
Yeah, well, and as they should, right? And so, like the writing was on the wall that was going to be a tough game.
Well, it's
now,
like killing off 23 straight penalties.
Now, having said that, they still should have won that game. The officiating was a weird game, and they still should have won it.
They were just sloppy. All their puck choices were just like they were throwing blind passes, area passes to no one in particular.
Fine. They're just whatever. They're just tired. All you have to do is they have to win one game or get 2 points over the next 3 games, and they're good.
The big loss came in my betting account, Chalmers. I probably went a little heavier than probably necessary on Sunday morning. I was feeling good about it.
I didn't touch it. I was touching F1 and I was betting on what I bet on. I bet on Yamamoto to get a point. That's it. Cause I'm like, I don't even want to bet on the outcome of this game.
My F1 bets did not go well either.
Oh, I had Verstappen to win and have fastest lap.
I had fucking Leclerc to finish top 3. Second last lap, he spins out and finishes 6th.
I, for some reason, was feeling that Ferrari was going to be under pressure with the fact that they were in a Imola.
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
I'll tell you one thing I did. Sorry to take it off, to go down to the F1 well, as I watched the Ayrton Senna documentary.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
That guy was fucking wicked.
Oh yeah, I've got it in my queen.
Yeah, I got a lot of respect. Anyways, back to hockey. The most hilarious.
Yeah. Shout out to Chris the intern.
All right.
The most hilarious thing in hockey happened last night. Vegas, that just tells you the hockey gods are against Vegas. 1959 on the clock in the third period. San Jose scores to tie to force to overtime and then wins in overtime.
Vegas was up by
99% chance they don't win that game statistically.
Vegas was up by 2 with 3 minutes left, and they blew it.
Yeah,
like
that's too bad.
Their collapse is just epic, and I love it.
That's too bad.
You deserve this, Vegas. You fucking got such early success, and then you keep fucking around and trading this and trading that, and just creating no loyalty within your lineup.
Yeah.
And you mismanage your goalie situation. You give away the reigning Vezina for a song, and now you have goaltending issues. It's kind of just poetic to see how this is coming together. But I'm also happy because once they get their shit together, they are a good team. So the fact that they are boxed out of the playoffs is a good thing for us.
Eichel brought that Buffalo stink with him, you know?
Mm-hmm. And then the Buffalo's record, I bet you if you look at the record since the trade, I bet you Buffalo's probably very close, if not slightly better than Vegas.
Yeah. And since March 1st, so down the stretch, you could call it, the Vegas Golden Knights are 20th in the NHL in points percentage with a record of 13, 11, and 2. The Buffalo Sabres in that span, 11th in the NHL.
There you go.
Pretty good.
So Eichel was the issue.
Yeah. Unlucky.
And that is one of the few circumstances where a block where you treat like normally the team that's trading the Jack Eichel loses that trade every time. Mm-hmm. You can now argue that Buffalo won that trade because Krebs is contributing, Tuck is contributing, and they got some high draft picks.
Yeah, they got a first in there as well. I want to share, speaking of the Sabres, because I've made some good money betting on them recently. They've been a great bet. How about Tage Thompson popping 37 goals this year?
Insane.
I know this is like a little bit more nerdy hockey than we usually get into, but like how the fuck is Tage Thompson suddenly a 40 goal guy? It's unreal.
Big guy. Late bloomer. He's finally, he's in full control of his faculties and he is now lighting up the league.
Back to the Oilers. Are we worried about
Nurse? If you watched him play when he was, a couple of years ago, you knew this was coming. If you were, really, really deep into watching hockey like I was, I'm
like, this is a fucking joke.
that this guy had a 37 goal season in him.
In his last 100 games before this year, I'll even go a step further than that. Tage Thompson before this season had played 145 NHL games and he had 18 goals in that span.
Steroids? Are you worried about Daryl? Tyler?
Steroids? No, I'm not worried about Daryl. I think even Woodcroft coming out and doing the game 1 of the playoffs, we'll see. I think that's gamesmanship right now. I think if the playoffs would have started on Sunday, Daryl's in the lineup.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Like that,
because it just looked weird. It looked like
he was putting weight on it right after. Like that's just a tweak and just maintenance, no rush.
Mm-hmm. What is this illness that Puljujärvi has as well?
Upset tummy.
Upset tummy for 4 or 5 days now.
What do Bison get? Hoof and mouth
disease.
Hoof and mouth syndrome. Yeah.
Maybe he just didn't trust himself on a plane. Tummy's that upset.
Oh yeah, the pressurized cabin.
Mm-hmm. Last thing you need.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with him.
You know what I'm noticing now that I've got a newborn child is if we feed her too much, she gets sick in the tummy. So maybe he ate too much.
Same. I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
How much do we like Woodcroft? He's earned the job for us all for next year, has he not?
Can I tell you something? The way that guy speaks about the team as well after the game on Friday night.
It's an honor to be an Edmonton Oiler. It's an honor to hear you speak, sir.
Exactly. That's what I was going to get to. On Friday night, they asked him, you must be so personally satisfied the way things have gone since you come over as the head coach, blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, it's all about the team. He didn't say a thing about himself. I love
That's culture.
I love that dude.
Culture.
He is. He's creating.
He's got everyone feeling better. Everyone feeling loose.
Cardi B and Offset's daughter.
Yes, obviously.
Her name's Culture.
Mm-hmm. The real big turning point for this season almost wasn't even the day Woodcroft took over, although they're 5th in the NHL in points percentage in that span. But remember, he took over and they got, the dead cat bounce, right? Yep. And they went on that little winning streak. But then there was that stretch where it was the OT loss to Chicago, the home ice Saturday night 5-2 loss to the Habs, and then they lost 3-1 to Calgary on the Monday. And they were returning home at that point, March 8th. They played on March 9th. And it was like, man, is this team going to make it looked not grim, but they had a hill to climb to get a playoff spot. Yeah. And since that point, the Oilers have gone 16-4-2. That gives them a 7.73 points percentage, good for 4th in the NHL.
Little did they know that cat was made of rubber.
Woody's got the boys rolling.
Woody. We call him Woody now? Okay.
That's what the boys call him.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah, well, that's Woody. Woody's there's only one nickname there.
And I think it's also, this is maybe I'm reading too much into this. I don't think I am. But when Ryan Rishaug puts out a tweet being like, hey, has Woodcroft done enough for a long-term extension? And Connor McDavid's agent responds to it and says yes. I think you can read between the lines on that as for how the room feels about Jay Woodcroft.
Yeah, that's good. A happy Connor is a very relieved Jay.
Yeah.
Also, a shout out to our boy, Ben Stelter, 8-0 in the building.
My God, that guy needs to travel with the team. Mm-hmm. He is just unreal. That guy
Does
is
this have,
so
you know when St. Louis got their push from the little girl?
Layla,
I couldn't remember her name. Thank you for that. This has feels to it, bros. This is,
and we've got our good. Gloria. Like we've got La Bamba. That's bringing
we fired the coach mid-season.
Yeah.
It's all coming together.
It's all coming together.
I drove into.
Ben should drop the puck at game 1.
100%.
100%.
Totally.
Let's not look past the fact that the one struggle that I felt that we've talked about all season, and all we've ever said was you can see it in Smith's body language and the types of saves he makes and the way he plays when he's confident and when his confidence is high and he's riding high. It's coming at the right time. Like, I would like to go into playoffs with just having a starter and a backup and not messing around with a 2-horse system.
Yeah.
And I just would like to see this next week. I mean, we've got 3 games. We've got Pittsburgh, we've got Vancouver, and we've got San Jose. Vancouver to end the season. Like, should Smith play all 3 games?
No.
Well, they got back-to-back Thursday, Friday. So
yeah.
Mikko gets the last game.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I go Smith Tuesday, Thursday, and then I go Mikko on Friday because it's a meaningless game.
And then start Smith next week because playoffs start next Monday. Am I correct?
That's right. Yep.
Okay, but here's a question. Like, I don't
Monday, Tuesday. We don't know which day the Oilers would start.
I don't think anyone would argue that Mike Smith has earned the starter's role, but has he earned a long leash? If let's say game 1 against LA, Edmonton loses 5-4 in overtime.
No,
what do you do?
It depends. Well, I guess it also depends though. 5-4.
Right? Like, let's say he gives up 5 goals on 35 shots, and it's like not a terrible performance, but there's one stinker in there.
Yeah, no, right? You let him bounce back. But if it's 5-0, that's a different story.
You need a spark.
You got to let the battler battle, man. Let him back in.
He has earned the playoff net for sure. And the good 100%. News is that Mikko's playing well, so he's a good backup.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like our goaltending sucked a couple months ago, and we have the same guys, but they are completely different. And that's also, I definitely think Woodcroft had a big effect on Mikko. I feel like he keeps it loose and kind of doesn't let him get too down on himself. Because Mikko kind of gives me that vibe. And same was with Mike Smith, because he's just such a competitor. He's probably extremely hard on himself. So I feel like Woodcroft has really kind of eased a lot of that pressure. And what you're getting is the best version of themselves. And these guys are fucking dominating. Yeah.
Do we want Mike Smith playing the puck as much as he does behind the net? I mean,
yes.
So has anybody done the analytics on over a month? Let's just say he comes out of the net probably 3-4 times a game.
More than
right?
that.
And I would say that every fourth or fifth time he kind of fumbles the puck a little bit and has to fight himself to get back in the net in time. Right? Are we cool with that still?
As long as he's making sometimes he tries to force the issue when it's when shit's going off the rails, as opposed to like just doing like the safe play. And I think maybe he's because there hasn't been, knock on wood, there hasn't been those crazy gaffes.
Yeah.
But you know one is.
I knocked on wood.
I know, but there's one in the chamber.
It's live by the sword, die by the sword sometimes.
But like it's
I'm with it.
Ask his defenseman if they want him to slow down playing the puck, and if they say yes, then I will then say yes. But they will likely say no.
He makes passes to those guys a lot. Like you got to admit, he's really good at it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember when Roley was knocking those out in 06?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Did you just relate this Oilers team to the 06 team?
Well, that's a big debate.
That's my 80s Oilers, Chalmers. The 06 Oilers are my 80s Oilers.
Hey, Bag Milk and Tyler, share the heated debate on Friday's episode of ON Radio.
Rick came out with the bold take that this team, as currently constructed for the Oilers, is better than the team was in 06.
There's no debate. Of course it is.
No debate.
We have two of the best players.
Yeah.
With the best player in the NHL and maybe the second or third best player in the NHL on the team at the same time. Maybe the supporting cast isn't as strong.
There's no Chris Pronger, and our goaltending is whack, but it is a better team.
But was the goaltending not considered a little whack going into the 06 playoffs? Like Roley hadn't proven himself to be that guy.
But they weren't breaking NHL records for letting in the first goal, and the save percentage of the first shot wasn't like .300.
Well,
that's all changed. That was just during our like dark days of the season.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, they were whack going into the playoff run in 06. Roley wasn't considered a lead. He was considered old.
No, and the Oilers just inched into the playoffs in 2006. Second last game, something like that? Yeah.
There's 3 games left?
3 games left.
3.
How many points does Connor end up with?
I said 123.
What's he at right now? 118?
116.
118.
Yeah, I can see like a 122, 122, 123 range.
Yeah, I said 123.
I hope Leon can catch. I hope Leon. If Leon catches
that would be
Matthews in the goal scoring, that's definitely the death touch of his Hart chances.
Do you know what those odds are right now for the Rocket Richard? It's Austin Matthews minus 1,000 and Draisaitl plus 500.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
no, it does make sense for right now. But the fact that there's even a chance that Draisaitl bet it.
Well, he's what? Is he 2 back or 4 back?
3 back.
He's 3 back, and we have 1 extra game to play.
Yeah,
Matthews didn't score last night. That's good. Who does
scored in a couple?
Who does Toronto have left? Well, he also has got like a little bit of an injury. So like, what if they arrest him? No, they won't, because they want him to win this, and they know.
Well, we've got a good Pittsburgh team, and then 2 bad teams. So.
Pittsburgh's been shitty lately.
Have they?
Yeah, they're free falling.
And they got a goaltending thing here too, because Jari's still listed as week to week, right?
So 2 games left for the Leafs. They've got Detroit and Boston.
Well, 1 game, it's definitely point night potential.
And Edmonton has 2 easy-ish matchups. Pittsburgh doesn't have Jari, but DeSmith's playing okay, or playing good. He stopped 52 of 52 the other day. I hope Draisaitl doesn't catch Matthews, because like 3 months ago, I had my thing where if you bet on both Draisaitl and Matthews to win the Rocket, you would come out ahead if just one of them won. And then Matthews went on his heater, right? So I cashed out my Draisaitl bet and decided to just sit and let the Matthews one roll. And now I'm worried I'll regret it.
Shame.
Mm-hmm.
That was a definite brain play, not a heart play.
Yeah, it's money management. Yep.
But
now I'm sitting there and I could.
You should have just not said that.
So just for the sake of the math here, I put $30 on Matthews, $30 on Draisaitl.
Yeah.
I cashed out the Draisaitl one at that time for $38. So I made $8 off it.
Good, your M-Tuck math there.
I know. Well,
hang on. Do you want me to check that?
I'm simplifying the numbers. And then I still have this Matthews one at 30, and I could cash it out now for 90, or I could let it ride for 130. Yeah.
You let it ride.
Yeah, I'd let it ride.
Do you let it ride, or do you just take the free money?
Let it ride.
No, but what if Draisaitl gets like a hattie that last night against Vancouver? And
If you see him buzzing and he gets one, you just hit that cash out button.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. Well, then the fact that you went against your hometown team bites you in the ass, and you live with it.
Yep.
I suppose.
I really hope he can do it. I really hope he can do it. It'd be great for Leon to get the Rocket Richard.
I need to ask Wanye, Elon, Twitter.
Wow.
Deal done. Let's go. It's the Elon
Is it
era.
done?
Yeah, it just got announced today. $44 billion.
I've been offline all day. I haven't had time to check my things. Mm-hmm. So what was the share price?
$44 billion.
He paid 38% over the share price.
Well, there you go.
That's crazy, man. For him to
What
double
is he
his
gonna
money.
do with this? Why does he want that?
So he, in his list of goals for the site, one of them was defeat bots and authenticate all humans.
Whoa.
That's very
You're
Elon.
gonna lose some followers, I think.
So if he paid 30% over, that's about
most of Elon's companies. He's joined a business that's already in existence and then helped take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that what he.
No, keep going.
Oh,
no, keep going.
I think what okay. I think what he's trying to do is take Twitter to where it could be in his mind, which is the ability for like people to freely communicate with one another with no censorship, linking to ultimately true stuff that's going on around the world, and kind of like the utopian view of what Twitter could be. Right. And I think he's like grown dissatisfied using it. But I also think as part of Elon, he wants to take Dogecoin as payment on it too, which is interesting because it doesn't really relate to any of his other companies, right? But I also think there's part of him that's like the ultimate Twitter lord that's like, now I own Twitter itself, bitches. There's a bit of a flex.
Oh, for sure.
Did you see the tweets Did you see the tweets back and forth between him, or the text messages, not tweets, sorry, between him and Bill Gates?
Yeah. Really rich people can be really petty, man, right? Like at the end of the day, we're all still in grade 10, right?
Yeah. Yeah. For anybody that doesn't know, and I'm going to give this a cliff notes, and it might, I'm not delving very deep in it, but he just sent a text message to Bill Gates asking him if he still owned $500 million in shorts on Tesla. And Bill Gates was like, well, yes, I have not cashed out that position yet, but I wanted to talk to you about philanthropic endeavors. And basically Elon texted him back saying, I can't take your your climate change platforms very seriously if you have the highest short against the company doing the most to change global warming. And he's not wrong. I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah. No, they're crazy. They're all kind of crazy once they get to that level, right?
That was like Elon tweeting that
clashing
emoji of the pregnant woman and Bill Gates alongside it.
That's the same flex for Twitter that like Bill Gates and them don't really get because they're not living and dying with like.
In case you need to lose your boner fast. Oh my god!
What?
You didn't see that, Joe?
I'll send it to you, Chalmers. It's coming in our group chat.
Oh my god, that is billion. That's billionaire beef right there.
It was like originally, I thought it was like a poor joke, and then it was actually true. Like,
yeah, no, I thought it was I thought it was one of those ones that I always get fooled with on Instagram, where it's a photoshopped tweet from a celebrity, but no, that was actually you.
God, I used to follow those all the time back in the day.
So this is a picture of Bill Gates in a blue shirt next to an emoji of a man carrying a baby.
Yes.
And it says, with Bill Gates having a very big pot belly. And Elon Musk caption is, in case you need to lose a boner fast. My God. What is going on?
And he's trying to buy. On the app, he's presently trying to buy for $43 billion.
Yep.
What in the hell are we doing in this world right now?
We are in the upside down.
So Oilers playoffs, eh, boys?
I would be interested if this deal's gone through. We're going to find out. I'll be interested to see what Elon makes it into.
Yeah.
Because it's going to evolve. And if he has no obligation for ad revenue and he has no obligation to any shareholders because he's the shareholder, I think you may see Twitter evolve into something way more useful and valuable to humanity, where it does allow fake information to be weeded out and real information to thrive. Twitter's done a lot of good shit, right?
Yes.
It hasn't been able to kill the bots like Elon said.
So I guess for somebody that just thinks about the impact that Twitter has on the world, like I do for my children and just for people that use it, it's a pretty dark fucking place. And there's a lot of negativity and there's a lot of things that, the misinformation that gets passed. If he's going to do something about that, then I'm all for this because, I like going on Twitter and talking with Oilers fans on Oilers game day, but I really have no fucking time for pretty much any other part of it. And people that say that they go there to get their news, it makes me shake my head because I say like, the news on there is like 50-50. It's hit or miss. It's right or wrong. It's what you want to believe. It can be
the
pushed
thing
to
with
you.
Twitter though for news is the speed of Twitter for news is unmatched, right?
Sure. But it's a sad state of affairs when I say to them, well, get your news elsewhere. And they say to me, yeah, but where would I get my news from? Like, think about 20 years ago, there was like 4 places to get your news from. And they were, reputable channels on TV.
Facebook's newspapers. Bad. Like all the problems of Twitter have also corrupted Facebook, right? It's like people are the problem, not Twitter or Facebook.
Yeah, and so if his mission is to somewhat fix that, then I'm gonna sit back and say I'm all for it. And
he's talking about like you have to pay to be authenticated, like $2 a month or some shit. And if you're not authenticated, it's assumed you're a bot.
Right.
So you'll see blue check marks for every real person on Twitter. Maybe it's a different color. I don't know. But basically, there are estimates that like up to 70% of tweets are fake, right? So if you cut all that toxic fake bot tweeting shit out, it'll be a lot less dark place to be, I think is the intent.
We'll see.
And you have to pay for that.
Yes. And he's going to do away with ads.
So then my thinking along those lines is, if everyone on Twitter is paying $2 a month to be there, although that doesn't sound like a lot of money, you may eliminate the @Joseph127899632 who's just running around. Even if it's a real person just running a little burner, that person might sit there and be like, oh, fuck, I'm not paying $24 a year to like do this. It's boring.
Yes. I think the intent is like for every Joseph14632 that's real, there's like 10 bots that aren't, right? Yeah. They're pretty convincing. It's a weird place to like create malware bots that like tweet weird shit. I don't know. Facebook did a pretty good job of weeding those out. You don't see that many fake people on Facebook. Twitter's a zoo.
Before we keep cruising along.
As a nation, though, Jay, where do you think how could Twitter and social media evolve for the nation to be more helpful?
To be like more helpful for us, or for us to be more helpful to?
How could Twitter help you more, Mr. Business Owner?
Wow. That's
not locking us out all the time.
Yeah, not locking us out. I'm trying to
be able to get
better customer service, I guess, right? Or be able to have an account manager. So if you do like we're a business, and with Facebook, you have business account managers. Some might be virtual. You have to like unlock tiers and stuff. So like any kind of service, and that goes for anyone who gets their account locked for some silly reason. There should be easy recourse, like you said.
If you're paying $2 a month, I think you're entitled to that level of customer service.
100%.
Right? Whereas if you're like fake or potentially a fake user, you're not.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of like what I was trying to think functionality wise, other stuff that we have, but sheer customer service.
Do you like Twitter Spaces? Bag Milk, do you like that thing? I don't really care for it.
I haven't really played around with it all that much. I think it's interesting to have a bunch of people from different walks of life or different interests jumping in and chatting about it, but I've never really played with it all that much. To be honest, I'm more of a TikTok guy than I am a Twitter guy these days. So,
Well, Spaces was the answer to Clubhouse, right? Because Clubhouse isn't a thing anymore, is it?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Or it's still quiet.
I don't.
Or it's probably still around, but it's just you don't hear about it.
Never took off the way
Twitter Twitter was a great platform to try to create that to compete with. So Spaces, like, how are we with our like subgroup or what's that called?
Our community.
I
don't think anybody has commented on it since Liam posted a yam emoji on March 24th.
Good for Liam. Job, Liam.
Oh, he stayed on the ball. That's nice.
Yeah. It was crazy when Oilers Nation Twitter got deleted and it didn't like destroy our site traffic. That blew my mind.
Yeah, that was because like we always like, oh, it's such a big refer for traffic. It is.
Yeah. It
is from a social, like from traffic that gets referred to from social, but our overall traffic is organic.
Yeah, it mostly comes.
Not many people learned about us on Twitter and go to the site directly.
And even if you're talking about social refers, Twitter's not it for us. Facebook's still daddy for us.
Yeah, which is interesting because Twitter. People go to Twitter for news.
Yeah,
people also go to Facebook for news, though. I think it's just
about your mom.
Well, like it's a different demographic of people looking for news.
Anyways, we love Facebook because it refers us a lot of traffic. So thank you, Facebook.
But like, who knows what the next one is?
Well, exactly. And we got to make sure we play in all those sandboxes. Like, thankfully we got, Waz on the team who's just been making sure that our TikTok's popping off and staying consistent.
People notice TikTok.
People, Waz is like,
is that what
Waz might be the biggest nation celebrity right now because of TikTok.
Yeah.
Is that what young people say to have your TikTok popping off, Jay?
Gary V does.
Yeah, buddy.
Gary V talks about having your TikTok popping off.
He is on TikTok. They got 30.
He's the height of cool.
He is the height of cool.
Well, we're talking about making content. I would absolutely appreciate what
Gary V. Every time I see him is like the uncle who like wears his hat backwards and turns his chair around to sit in it backwards when he comes to rap with your nephew. And you're just like, what are we doing here, Gary V? Why are you still wearing True Religions, Gary V?
Does not wear True Religions. But he's invited to do that. He's not imposing that. People actually think he's cool enough to come and do that.
He's like 2 steps away from wearing a bandana under his hat like Jeff Lowe.
No,
how dare you?
What a misclassification that is.
That is shocking.
Hey, young people, you want to rap for a minute?
That is shocking.
About some cool new stuff that I'm doing.
Well,
got my Twitter, my TikTok popping off.
So he doesn't do that.
Fine, Chalmers. We'll just head back to Nexopia with the rest of them.
Gary V is the king.
Hoodie the other day.
What's that?
I have an Nexopia hoodie that I got from Nexopia. And like when I wear this thing out, I feel like I'm Bieber because like people talk to me about it.
100%.
I found it balled up in the trunk of my car. I'm excited. If you see me in these streets in my Nexopia hoodie, don't talk to me.
That's good living. I'm loving Nexopia.
Hey, fellow young people.
It says Nexopia because your mom's on Facebook. It is a fucking prime hoodie.
Shade.
Nexopia was no joke, Chalmers. It had 1.3 million users before Facebook launched.
I remember when I was going to Nate, so that would have been like 2004. Everybody was on Nexopia. That was the place.
Everybody.
Doing what?
Fucking around.
Facebook
same thing you do on
Facebook stuff. Same, man.
Yeah.
Creeping on chicks.
Making dumb jokes.
I like you guys. I mean, come on. Same thing as Facebook, man. Like, you don't know Nexopia? Yeah, no, I don't know Nexopia. Come on.
Yeah, but when it's described as
some of us had a life. Some of us went and talked to real girls at the bar.
Oh, fuck. You're on MSN Messenger. Don't fucking kid yourself.
I don't even know what the hell that means.
Oh, shit.
Wasn't your platform.
They just paged me. That's the only time. 911 if they really needed me, you know.
Oh, God.
If you know, you know.
I can't believe we had pagers. I feel so embarrassed. I had a pager.
I saw a guy straight up the other day with the same kind of pager in his pocket with the clip hanging out, and I was like, that brought back some memories, man. It was cool.
Oh man! Then you would page someone your pager number so they could page you back, so you get the page.
Yeah. The desire to be connected.
I don't even get it.
You had to find a bank of payphones.
There's no cell phones. I know, or you couldn't afford one.
You can't think of a more efficient way to get a hold of somebody than to call them, leave your number so they could call you back. I mean, come on. Yeah. It was a height of technology.
Yes.
My brother had
running to a payphone
without the annoyance of checking your voicemail, which I refuse to do now.
There was a short run where my brother had a pager as well as a StarTAC flip phone on the other side. That was
wow. He must have been moving a lot of cocaine.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Holy cow. That's multi-levels of connection.
Remember Sidekicks came out?
I thought those would take over. Because I thought they were super cool.
And they had a cool name. Yeah, they had a thing going.
You remember Kelly Rowland texting Nelly on her sidekick?
But if you
on Excel.
Yeah, Excel. Yeah.
Where are you at, Nelly?
Why isn't he answering
me? It's interesting because all that technology shows a desire for people to communicate with each other, right? And like whether it's TikTok or whether it's Facebook or sending a page, like there's something from like 1990 till now where there's something in humanity where we want to be in constant contact despite it stressing everyone the fuck out.
Right. But you know what the best part of the pager was? If you knew the number and you didn't want to talk to them, you just don't call them back.
That's why I just don't answer my phone now.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there is a weird feeling when somebody's calling you and you're not answering it. And you get that initial reaction of like, are they behind me? And like, Are they calling me because they like see me and they're going to see that I'm like not answering this call?
Oh yeah.
I've never thought that once in my life, but now I always
You've never
will.
ever thought that driving in your car and somebody calls you and you do a 360 with your head just to make sure you don't see them somewhere before you don't answer them.
Jeez.
That's the nice part.
That's a level of paranoia, Chalmers.
Yeah, that ain't me, man. I
Also,
usually just pick up.
Chalmers on mine. Now that I have an Apple Watch, I can just tell it to ignore it without any giveaways. I'm like a ninja when I'm ignoring
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. Just keep that in mind, Tyler. If you're
I'm not paranoia. I pick and choose when I like to talk to people. Okay.
Yeah, and that's
my
fine.
choice.
But
It's my goddamn choice.
yeah, that's totally fine. That is not an issue. But it's looking over your shoulder, thinking that you're
kind of making
thinking
me
that
feel a
you're
little
being
weird about
set
it.
up. Is this a phone button sting?
Half the time I get calls now, it's just Service Canada telling me I got a package that's been seized. You know how stressful that is every time?
Yeah, or you owe $20,000 in iTunes gift cards.
Oh my God. Okay. In the same vein, I'm going to tell you something. So I don't know if you guys are getting these, but man, are scam artists getting bold.
Oh,
But
yeah.
they are now texting
Oh yeah.
and calling, just being like, you know, the one I got Friday night was like, hey, Mel, I'm sorry. I'm just having a rough day and I don't think my flight's going to be on time. So I'll be late. That's it. And I'm just like, that's okay. I'll see you soon. And they write back, okay, Mel, is this Kylie? And I'm like, I'm Mel. Are you Kylie? And then they just kept asking me questions. And I'm basically, they ended up blocking me, but
and then you gave him your credit card number.
Are you sure this was a scam or was this just someone who had the wrong number and was trying to connect with their friend? Chalmers?
you would think, but
Did you look over your shoulder?
Yeah.
I had somebody
Are
from
you
North
Mel?
Korea.
What was your high school or what elementary school did you go to? What was the first color of your car?
Somebody from North Korea the other day, like the very first one I ever got, I texted with them and I was being nice. I'm like, oh man, I really heard it. Sorry to hear that. Yeah. And they went down this whole story. Like, yeah, you know, my wife is.
Hold on, Chalmers. What the fuck are you talking about? You're getting texts from North Korea about what?
Straight up on WhatsApp and text from numbers with crazy area codes. And they just always say the wrong name. And then if you bite and ask them one simple question, it leads into a story where eventually they're going to ask me for money. I can tell. And I don't like it.
So you gave it to him?
You gave it to him to shut up.
So you sent Mel $1,000?
I did, man. She's having a tough day. Give her a break. Her flight's not on time.
Oh shit! I gotta jump on a call. Sorry.
I gotta give some love to our friends at DoorDash. Promo code RealLifeDD gets you 25% off and no delivery fees on your first order. Combine it with Oodle Noodle and it makes for a delicious combination that shows up right to your door. Shout out to DoorDash. Ding dong.
Ding dong.
Ding dong.
Mm-hmm. See you, Jay.
There goes Jay.
Bye, Jay.
Hope that
Did
salad
Jay
was good.
start this podcast eating a salad on the air and end this podcast leaving?
Yeah, then he didn't close the door when he left.
I
so
don't know how to feel about the fact that he seems to coincide lunch break with on Monday and Thursday with the podcast taping. It's like
this is the pot, like Christ.
Charles, are we going to start getting you
listening to this shit, or I'd be horrified.
Charles, are we going to start getting you back in studio for the playoff episodes?
Yes. Oh yeah. For playoffs for sure. This week I'm like Thursday. As of right now, I am in the city on Thursday, and I would like to jump in. I'm getting to an area where I can get my head above water and breathe right now at work. And so the goal is during the playoffs, I will be in studio. I will be there.
We're also going to ask to invite you on the new podcast Tyler and I are launching on Wednesday.
And we're launching a new pod.
Sounds good. What's it called?
It's all betting. It's all betting, Chalmers. That's all we're talking about. 30 minutes of straight betting.
I cannot wait. Give me some prep stuff. Give me some
BLT bets.
Ooh, bacon, lettuce, tomato.
Bean?
Bag milk, Liam and Tyler.
Oh,
Liam's initial idea was calling it the BLT sandwich. And actually, this was born out of just a very random conversation.
We were just watching a Jays game here in the office and just talking about what we were betting on. So we said we might as well record it for our friends at PointsBet Canada and then talk a little betting.
Can I get in on this with my still as unannounced startup I bought?
Wanye, I was going to say, me and you will have a conversation about this.
Yeah, we've already looped you in, Wanye.
Yeah, we've talked about
it. That's cool. Chalmers, I'm in the space. I'm in the gaming, gambling space in my own way.
Not a boy.
I'm not going to learn how to bet like you. I'm not going to learn how to do everything like you learned. But I did purchase an artificial intelligence sports picking company. Legit. called
What?
Sports Picks. Yeah, called
What?
sportspicks.ai.
Okay.
They 2 data scientists, one from Miami, one from Colorado, built it in 2018 and 2019 and launched it. And they just keep working on it. And they walk me through how the product works at great length. And I really think that they've built something really awesome.
Is this an up and running product right now? Does it have statistics as to how it does?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay.
It works. And I can speak to it to an extent, but I'll have to get all my talking points right before I embarrass myself. But it works significantly better. It doesn't pick every single game.
Yeah.
It takes all the games and all the sports leagues every day and pulls in an insane amount of data. Like not only data of like what's going to affect the game, past team performance, past player performance, but there's also publicly available gambling, like the line of how much money is being bet on the other sides. And they pull in all this data and then they give the best 4 picks a day to their subscribers. And they've been doing it for 4 years and it works really well.
God, I love nerds making this stuff easy for me.
Well, and
I don't want to pick these games with my heart and my gut anymore.
There's college, man. We're going to be doing soccer right away. Like we're going to look at millions of pieces of data every day. So you don't have to think. So you can sit on your couch and make smarter bets. And the people who use this love it.
So I had an interesting debate about this the other day when I was talking to some people about the idea of an AI generated thing. And one of the counter arguments,
like sports picks.
Yeah. I was talking to people about sports picks. Yes. I was running this
.ai.
Yes. And their thing was, why would I that takes the fun out of it. They were like, I want to make my own picks. And the other angle of that, which I presented, was it doesn't at all. Like the reason I bet is because 1, obviously there's a little bit of a rush in it for me. And 2, it keeps me invested in games that maybe I wouldn't be invested in. It gives gives me more of a reason to watch a Thursday night football game than not. And if this is going to be a way,
I want money.
If you want to bet for fun, like I bet my one bet every year, and I usually involve your M-Chuck, and I don't remember if we did it this year. I bet on the Oilers to win the cup. Unfortunately, they haven't lately. But you're more than welcome. If you want to win money in the long run, technology can help you. Some technology can, right? And in doing the due diligence to buy this company, like there's a lot of scammy shit out there. There's a lot of really dubious products out there like this with like spelling errors in the websites and shit where you're like, if you can't even code up a website correctly, how are you correctly predicting things? Whereas these guys are ultra professional data scientists. And I nerded them into the ground for like 90 minutes on a Zoom about the science behind their shit. It's real. It can't predict every game, but it can certainly predict 4 games a day that give you a distinct advantage over how you will do as a brain in betting in the long run.
And that's where I was.
Why wouldn't you pay for that?
And that's what I was getting at was like, if I'm going to be betting, if I'm sitting on a Sunday and I'm like, hey, I want to bet on 3 things, I would rather pay the service who gives me a better chance of being right than just picking them randomly for the sake of doing it. And I think that's a way where even if you're someone who's a fun bettor versus someone who maybe tries to be a sharp and try to dig in and make money in the long term off it, that's where something like an AI generated thing could make sense.
Or getting your expertise from Vegas Dave, who just picks 50%, picks one side for half of his people and the other side for the other half. So they keep paying.
That's what I was
going to
say. The other type of service out there is people who are relying on their dubious insider information for bets. Mm-hmm. And these people have been around for a long time. Remember on Simpsons, the lock of the week and that type of shit? Mm-hmm. Why not let actual science and actual machine learning do this and give you an advantage? I think it's fine. I think it's great. Bought the damn company.
It's just another way that AI is going to take over our lives. Am I right, Bagmo?
That's right.
And I can see you, Chalmers, in your brain. You're like, fucking Wanya, you never bet on anything. You never fucking play along. And you're going to lose 20 years of betting on buying one website that goes tits up. Maybe.
That's not true. What I'm thinking
maybe I am. Or maybe you'll be like, God, Wanya, how are you so smart at betting? And I'll be like, oh, because computers are doing it for me?
That's where I'm thinking.
Sportspick.ai would love to be a sponsor of your new betting show, Bag Lettuce Tomato.
BLT bets.
And so I just wanted quickly while we're talking about this, because I know like someone like Genesis who listens to the show has been in my DMs a lot with like the intro beginner questions.
Yeah.
So send them in.
Yep.
Whether it's to myself or Bag Milk or Liam.
Preferably Liam. Don't send them to me.
You can DM them or email them to me, Tyler at OilersNation.com. And that'll be a part of it too, is like, we're not on this podcast going to be the people who are like, we're going to win you money. We're three guys who enjoy betting on sports, who like having some.
I've got a segment idea. Just, we'll workshop a title because I don't have one. We're just, we confess our some lost porn sometimes,
So send us your beginner questions too, because another segment.
All right.
What if I give you all subscriptions to sportspicks.ai, retail USD price $1,000 for a year? Can I be your non-betting partner advertiser?
Probably.
I don't know the rules on this, but I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, I don't know the rules either, but I don't think there would be rules against it.
And if a better artificial
I didn't even know there were rules on this, so yes.
Well, we're publicly traded, Chalmers. We can't be doing contra deals. You'll note I'm talking tough because Jay's not here, our compliance officer.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, the minute HR left the room, listen to all the shit.
The AI turned on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll sneak around in the background. Don't you worry about nothing.
Anyway, the point of the conversation, Chalmers, we'd love to have you on our new podcast. Launching
I'd love to be
Wednesday.
on it.
Can you say your name is sportspicks.ai?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's a workaround. We call that.
Mm-hmm. My name is Chris. My name is Cowboy Chris, presented by sportspicks.ai.
And talking to robot voice. Hello.
I'm not sure. I know how. Oh, I do.
You should bet on Ohio State.
That's just a nerd voice.
I like it.
You should bet on Ohio State to defeat some other American team. I don't know.
I like it. They're just numbers to you.
Worth $1,000. You know who we might get to do endorsements, Chalmers? The other fun thing about this company is, Cameo, right?
Yes.
So there's Cameo for Business. And Cameo for Business is get random celebrities. They know they're making ads for your company, and that's like you pay a higher price, right?
Right.
Skip Bayless, who you know, and I don't.
I hate Skip Bayless so much.
$4,800 US. He'll endorse your assassin agency. He'll endorse anything. Brett Favre, $12,900 US. He'll endorse it. I'm going to get me some of these celebrity endorsers to say Sports Picks is a good one. The problem is I don't know who anyone is. Rosenthal? Is that a guy?
Hey, Ken Rosenthal?
Ken Rosenthal from baseball?
I think we might work with him.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. Don't do Matthew Barnaby because
all these Fox announcers and shit, they're all on Cameo.
He's retired.
Matthew Barnaby hasn't retired, but he's got a lot to do in retirement.
What is this ad about? I saw you tweeting about it, Chalmers. I'm the only other person I know.
Yeah.
In retirement, there are no days off. I don't think you know what retirement is, Matthew Barnaby.
No, he says
in retirement, you have all days off.
I'm pretty sure his exact quote is, in retirement, there's no days off. That's why I bet with Bet99, because in retirement, and then he says, I still want to be in the action. And you're like, you just said you weren't retired, but in retirement, I don't get it. I'm confused.
My God. It's a Chinese finger trap of logic.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right.
One time when I was 14 years old, I met Matthew Barnaby in an elevator. And I shook his hand, and it was very weak and clammy. So just keep that in mind when you watch him endorse stuff. Weak handshake to a 14-year-old.
Noted.
All right. Well, we'll be back on Thursday.
Who is the ultimate football announcer that is respectable? Chalmers? If I was looking for an endorser,
just kidding.
Nope.
Who are the well-respected non-kooks in NFL announcing?
Chris Collinsworth.
Joe Buck.
Joe Buck. Chris Collinsworth. Okay. Al Michaels. Jim Nance.
None of those guys, like Nance and them, they're not on there. That they got that legacy money.
Brent Musburger. Go to Brent Musburger. Actually, if you don't use Brent Musburger, left CBC, I think, or CBS, I mean, and he's a legend to do commentary for a Vegas team just so that he could be in the sports betting world before it was a thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, love him. All right, I gotta go.
Yep, I'm going to wrap this thing up now.
Promotions all around. Count for doing work.
Episode 373 of the Real Life Podcast. Shout out to the HGA Group, DoorDash, and Oodle Noodle, and our friends at PointsBet Canada. Live in Ontario. We're also doing a bracket challenge with them, so hit up our socials.
Beat me.
Come beat Bag Milk. We got prizes for Ontario and non-Ontario residents. There are plenty of reasons to get involved. Head over. We'll post some links on our podcast socials as well. It's a great little bracket challenge with PointsBet Canada. Enjoy your week. We'll talk on Thursday.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Real Life Podcast. Don't want to miss any of our nonsense? Hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram.